Hi everyone. On this video, I'm gonna go through all the gear that I plan to take with me on my Pacific Crest Trail thru hike. And we're gonna start by unpacking this monster, which is my backpack. So this is the Osprey Aura 50-liter backpack, women's model, because I'm fairly short, so women's model fit me better. And let's see what we have here on the outside. This is my GPS tracker. So this is the Spot. I used that to track my location, and I can also call help by using that. Here on the outside mesh pocket, I have this zip pad. This is made from the AngioSeal box. AngioSeal is vascular closing device. So this is something I did myself. Here I have also my camp shoes. So I have these Crocs. I prefer to use Crocs because these are good when you have to ford a river. So I feel that these are very useful in that sense also. There is also, of course, another one as well. Then here are my rain gear. So this is my rain kilt. This is the anti-gravity gear rain kilt. I had this on the Appalachian Trail. It worked very well, so I'm having it now as well. Then I have my rain jacket from Anti-Gravity Gear as well. Super lightweight, very packable. In addition to my rain gear, I am carrying an umbrella, mainly not for the rain, but this is more gonna work as a parasol. So this is for the sun to offer me some protection. I'll have a couple of Velcro straps, so I'm able to strap this on my pack and attach it like this. Then I have this bandana. This is also actually from the Anti-Gravity Gear. I got this from free when I started my AT thru hike. So I have to give a shout out to Tinman. He gave this to me and it's still very good. Gonna use that to wipe off the condensation from my tent and dry my feet after fording rivers. Then I have this little extra dry sack. This is for my camera, so in case it starts to rain. I noticed on the AT hike that it's good to have an extra dry sack for the camera so that you don't have to start to unpack when it starts to rain. And here is my camera. So this is Olympus. And this I had also on the AT, and I have been considering a lot if I wish to carry this because I have fairly good camera on my phone. But I kind of love having a real camera on me, so I'm gonna take this with me in the beginning, and if I feel like I'm not gonna need it anymore, then I can send it back. Also on the outside of my back there is my barebacking rope. So this is reflected paracord that I use to bareback my food sack, and I especially like the reflecting one. It has this little silver dots. It's so much easier to find this when it's dark. Also packed outside my bag is the toilet paper that will be needed. My trowel. This is the Tent Lab, the Deuce of Spades trowel. Weighs like nothing. I had this also on the Appalachian Trail. And of course some hand sanitizer. Before we move on to what's inside my pack, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna be wearing. And it is what I'm wearing. So this is a shirt I'm gonna use, and this was actually recommended by the Darwin on the trail, who makes excellent guide videos regarding on long distance hiking. This is Columbus Silver Ridge shirt, and it's actually a long sleeve shirt, but I have the shirt sleeves rolled at the moment. I feel that this kind of shirt, although I usually like to use merino shirts, these might be better for the desert so that I get the airflow inside the clothes. Also, these pants, these are cool radical pants. I bought these from REI just like yesterday because I wanted to have a lighter colored pair for the desert so that I wouldn't be so hot. But I prefer to have also long pants because I have very light skin and I burn very easily, and I also happen to have skin grafts on my legs, so I can't afford to burn those. When it comes to underneath my pants, I'm wearing these Under Armour boxers. I was using Exo Physio on the Appalachian Trail, but the small size of Exo Physio is still a little bit too large for me, and the Under Armour is better fit for me, so I decided to give it a go. If it doesn't feel good, then I can always go back to the Exo Physio. As my socks, I'm mainly using Fall Case socks. These are very similar to what the Americans have, the Darn Tough. The only difference is that these are anatomical, so there is right and left side. And I feel that makes them fit better. So these are my go-to socks. With my socks, I have also these Gators. These are especially for the desert. I don't know if I'm gonna need them after that, but if I like them, I might be using them further on. So these are Dirty Curl Gators. I think that's the brand that most people are using. And those go nicely with my Ultras. I am the hiking boot kind of guy. I did try using trail runners on the Appalachian Trail and I wasn't very pleased with them, but now I still thought that maybe I could give them a go and try another type of shoe. I were wearing Salomon shoes on the Appalachian Trail and the fit was way too narrow for me. So now I bought a pair of Ultra Lone Peak 6 and we'll see. If I'm pleased with these, I'm gonna be using these. If not, then I might buy some Bose, or I also have a pair of actual hiking boots, but I'm gonna start with these. In addition to that, I am wearing this scarf. This is a traditional kufiya scarf. Some of you might call this a shinag. So it's a very, very large scarf. And the point of this large scarf is to be my headwear. But this has multiple uses. So I'm able to use this as my headwear. If I need to cover my face, I'm also able to do that. I can use this as a towel, as a blanket or whatever. So I was thinking that what kind of headgear if I wish to have on this in the desert, and I was first thinking about buying a hat, but then I realized that hat is only a hat, and with the same weight of a hat I could have a scarf that I can use in multiple ways. I don't know if I'm gonna have this when I go further north, but I'm gonna start with this because I quite often prefer to cover my head with something, especially when it's sunny. For the Sierras and other sections that might have more colder weather, I have these pants, fjällräven cap trousers. These are the same ones I was using on the Appalachian Trail and they are still in great condition. And I would actually love to have these in the beginning of the trail as well, but these are very dark. So that's why I bought these other pants. But I will be replacing these with these at some point. For the Sierras, I'm planning to use hiking boots, depending a little bit about how I'm gonna feel with the trail runners, but these are the same hiking boots that I had on the Appalachian Trail. Only difference is that I have resoled these, so they have perfectly new outer soles. So I like to hike in boots, and especially if there's gonna be snow, I don't feel like the trail runners is the best option for me. So I have these available. I'm not gonna take them with me now, but these will be mailed to me by my cousin when when I'm gonna need them. And of course, like most of us, I'm gonna be using trekking poles. And these, once again, are the same trekking poles I had on the Appalachian Trail. I'm big on sustainability and I want to use the same gear as long as possible. The only difference is that I have changed the tips. So these are brand new tips. So even they have a few scratches, they are gonna work very well. Also for the snow conditions, possible snow conditions on the Sierras, I'm having these Catula micro spikes. I haven't been using these kind of spikes before. I have been using traditional crampons more, but these are more lightweight, so I decided that perhaps this is more suitable kind of gear for long distance hike. So this will be mailed me for the Sierras. And in addition to the micro spikes, I have the ice axe. So this is the Black Diamond Raven. This is actually the old version of that because I had this for quite a few years for mountaineering use. And this one comes with a leash. So this will be also necessary for the Sierras, so I won't be having it in the beginning, but this will be mailed to me when I'm gonna need it. Now it's time to move to the insides of my backpack. And I'm very big on dry sacks and having different colored dry sacks, which helps me to organize things. This here is my food bag, and it actually already has the food that I'm going to need during the first days. So in addition to the actual food, my food sack has my sporks. So I have this case for my 2 sporks. Many people said on the Appalachian Trail that they had issues with these plastic sporks that they keep breaking apart, but me having this case, I never broke a spork. In addition to sporks, I'm having this cup. This is Wild Dew Folder Cup. I had this on the Appalachian Trail. I loved it. It's large enough to use for eating and for drinking as well. And this is extremely lightweight. So this is absolutely one of my favorite pieces of gear. That is all I have regarding to eating because I'm gonna go stoveless. I was using stove on the Appalachian Trail for first 100 miles and then I sent it back and never wanted it back again. So I'm gonna go stoveless once again. So I'm gonna be only eating cold food. So no stove, no food canister whatsoever. But inside my food sack, I have another dry sack. As I said, I'm kind of fond of them. This is my hygienic dry sack. It has some sunscreen. I'm gonna use that because, as I said, I burn easily. It has my toothbrush and toothpaste. I have some baby wipes. This is how I'm gonna wash myself on the trail. And in the same Ziploc baggie, there is a comb. I found out on the Appalachian Trail that using a comb helps to keep the beard more cleaner, so comb is necessary. And these, by the way, always leak, so that's why it's a good idea to have them in a separate Ziploc baggie. I have some Q-tips, and I have a lip balm, my favorite brand. And to a surprise for all of you, I have deodorant. And that's what people always say, that they send home first, that they're not gonna use deodorant because they're gonna be smelly anyway. But this is, for me, this is my luxury item. This is mentally important to me because I feel like a human, like an actual person when I'm using deodorant. So that's why I'm having it. I was using it throughout the Appalachian Trail and I'm gonna be using it on the Pacific Crest Trail as well. Now that I have also my food items here in my food sack, I'm gonna give you a quick peek. So I have some bars. Quite often it happens that after a while you're so fed up with bars, but I know in the beginning I might be able to eat some bars. Here is my breakfast. So these are the cheese crackers and some instant oatmeal. This is the maple and brown sugar that I love. I have tried all the flavors and that's the best one. Then there is some Finnish salmiakki, the best candy in the world. You can't get this from the US. And when it comes to candy, there is more. So here are my candies and my snacks. So I have some almonds and some cashews and fruit snacks. Love those while I'm hiking. And then some Sour Patches and some drink mix as well. So I must have candy on the trail. I just can't go without. I usually love to have also the Jolly Ranchers, but I couldn't find any on the grocery store I went to, so no Jolly Ranchers this time. And here's my dinner. So I have some tortillas and tuna. If you've been watching my AT videos, you know I have a thing for tuna tortillas. I was eating these throughout the trail, so not gonna get bored with these. Next, my water treatment system. So I'm using the Sawyer filter, as most of hikers are. It's a very good filter. I was using this on the Appalachian Trail, not that actually this one, but this is the same brand. And with it, I'm using this adapter so that I'm able to fit this into my drink bladder. So I don't need to take my bladder out of my backpack. I just take the valve off, click this in, then we'll filter water through the adapter straight through my drinking bladder. Very convenient. Rarely see people doing that, but I find it very convenient. Then I have the ever new water bag. This is for dirty water. I like this better than the actual Sawyer bags because Sawyer bags are blue and black and you can't see through them. And this is slightly more softer and it's a see-through, so it's easy to see how much water you have in here. Then this is my miscellaneous non-daily kind of dry sack. I have found it easy to have kind of daily stuff sack and non-daily stuff sack, because some things you're only gonna need when you are in a town or so. So I have my medicine in here, and quite a lot of that. I have a kidney condition, so I need to have 6 months worth of medicine in here. Then I have this pocket knife. This is Swiss Army knife with the Finnish coat of arms, so that I know that this is mine. I have so many of these cables that it's a pain in the ass. Almost all of my devices are using different kind of charging cables, and that's really a pain, but what can you do? So this is an USB cable for my camera and my battery charger. So I'm using an actual battery charger. I use batteries for my Spot, for my mattress pump, and for my head torch. And I like to think ecologically in that sense that I don't want to be buying new batteries all the time. So I have rechargeable batteries, and that's why I'm carrying the battery charger. I did the same thing on the AT, and then I actually had heavier charger. This is very lightweight, so this is so much better. This is a charging cable for my sports watch. So I'm having the Suunto 9 Barrow as my sports watch. This is a newer model of what I had on the AT. Here is a Summit Mosquito Net. this was actually the only item that was carrying on the Appalachian Trail that I never used. So maybe this is my lucky charm. Decided to take it with me once again. I have a space pen. I like to send cards and letters, so I need to have something to write with. Then I have, of course, my thru hiking permit. This is a must-have. You can't hike the trail without a permit. Then, as a international hiker, I need to have my passport with me. And my visa, of course. Here is my camera battery charger. This is also pretty lightweight, so that's convenient. Here are these rechargeable batteries, so I have a few spare ones. In order, I need to change them while I'm on the trail. Then I have this, I call this my first aid kit. It has some bandages. It has the repair kit for my air mattress, and it has the tick key. The ticks shouldn't be as big of an issue on the PCT, but the tick key weighs like 3 grams or something, so it's worth carrying, and it's very good device in removing ticks. Then I have a pair of scissors and nail clippers in this biohazard pack. On the AT, I was only carrying these scissors, not the nail clipper, but now I was thinking, well, nail clippers, it's not gonna weigh much, so I'm gonna have both. Then here is the replacement battery for my camera and a memory card reader so that I'm able to move my photos and videos around from my phone. The rest of what I have in this dry sack is my personal medication, and as I said, I need to have 6 months worth of meds in here, so that's why there's a lot. You are not allowed to mail medication in the United States, although I know some people do that, but I can't risk to lose my kidney medication, so that's why I'm carrying all of it. Then here is my daily dry sack. So the other one was non-daily things and things I'm mostly using in town. These are the things I'm using on the trail. So I have my sunglasses. These are prescription sunglasses because I'm wearing normally glasses, so these are matched with my glasses. Then here is a power bank. This is Cloudberry 20,000 milliamp hour power bank. On the Appalachian Trail, I was having a smaller power bank, but now I was thinking that I might need a little bit more charging power on the trail. Here is, once again, a charging cable. This is the cable for my power bank. Here is my head torch. Not as white and new as it was, but this was the one that I was using on the Appalachian Trail, and this is going to be with me once again. I love this one. It's Petzl Tikka Plus, very good. Then I have here a charging block and the charging cable for my iPhone, and of course this block I'm gonna use for charging everything else as well. Here I also have my wallet. I have this little wallet for hiking, so normally I have a larger one, but these have only the essentials and a little bit of money. And the rest of this is some medication, so I have part of my personal medication and then some painkillers and such in this dry sack, so that the most of them are in the other dry sack, but this has like a week worth of medication in here, so that I don't need to dig out the other dry sack every single day. Then the next one is my clothes dry sack, and this has more than just clothes at the moment. I'm always carrying a book. I like to read every evening. I'm starting the trail with Kathy Rice's Crossbones. This is part of the Bose series. Love to read these. I usually have it in my clothes sack because I'm gonna take the book out at the same time when I'm taking my sleeping clothes, so that's why it's in there. I have a couple of these fabric face masks just in case I'm gonna need them somewhere. For example, if I'm having an Uber ride or something and they require me to wear a mask, so it's good to have a couple of these. They said that be nice to hikers. They know places you'll never be found. Would you take that kind of hitchhiker? Then here are my sleeping socks. These are the same bulky socks, but these are the thicker variety. Then also for sleeping, I don't know if I'm going to be using both of these, but I'm gonna start with both of these. I have these Goose Feet down socks. These were also recommended by Darwin, and I suffer from cold feet quite often when I sleep. So I have these booties, which I find pretty cool. This is a new thing for me, so I'm kind of excited to get to try these on. But if it seems like I don't need the socks with these booties, then I'm gonna send the socks away. Then, as I said, I love to wear scarves on the trail. I have a buff, so this I use as my pillowcase, and also this can be my headwear. So if I decide to send the larger scarf away, then this is my headwear. I have a pair of gloves. These might be needed for mornings and colder days, as well as a beanie. This is a merino wool beanie called Stoic. I'm carrying also another pair of hiking socks. Some people only have two pair of socks, one for sleeping, one for hiking. I like to have two pair of hiking socks. There are days when it's mentally so important to be able to put on a pair of dry, clean socks. So that's why I have these. Then I have another pair of underwear. Two pair of underwear is what you're going to need during a 6-month hike. So these are for sleeping. The same Under Armour. This is just different color. Then I have some warm clothes, mainly for sleeping, but I can use these also as layers during the day if it's very cold. So I have some merino wool long johns. And then there is a merino wool shirt. This is also for sleeping, mainly. Then once again, one of my absolutely favorite piece of gear is my puffy coat. So this is my down jacket with a hood. This was the one I was using on the Appalachian Trail, and now I'm gonna have it with me on the Pacific Crest Trail as well. So when you buy a good down jacket, it's gonna serve you for several years. Then I have a couple of things in here which I don't know if I'm gonna actually have them in my clothes sack, but these are just now packed in here. So I mentioned that I have a pillow. I tend to get headaches if I sleep without a pillow. So when I found this one, since then I haven't got headaches when I've been sleeping in a tent. So this is absolutely necessary for me. This is also Fjällräven from a Swedish brand. Very packable, very comfortable. Some people tend to use air pillows. I, for some reason, don't like them. So I feel that this is better for me. I had this on the Appalachian Trail as well, as with so many of my gear, and now I'm gonna have it with me once again. And then the other piece of gear that might not necessarily be normally in my clothes dry sack, this is my sleeping bag liner. So this is a cocoon silk liner. It helps to keep the sleeping bag clean. So I love to use one of these. It also makes the sleeping bag a slightly bit warmer, and if there is a very hot night, I can sleep only using this. There are a few more items in my backpack. One is my tent. This is my Hilleberg Acto, an extremely good, this is actually a 4-season tent. I could be able to go with a 3-season tent. This is slightly heavier than the 3-season variety, but this is what I happen to have, and it's such a good tent that I wouldn't take anything else. It's able to take hard rain, it's able to take hard winds, and it's actually quite spacious for a solo tent. Once again, had this on the Appalachian Trail, and now I'm having it again. I love this tent. Then there is my sleeping system. So I have Thermarest Neo Air X Lite women's sleeping pad, because this is slightly shorter and slightly warmer. So as a short person, this fits me nicely. And then this is the source of so much envy on the trail. This is my pump. I had one on the Appalachian Trail and people were so envious about this. No need to be huffing and puffing. It's pretty lightweight and it does the work for you when you have to fill your air mattress. So wouldn't give that away. Then here's one thing that I bought when I was hiking the Appalachian Trail. This is a Spiky Ball. This is for my feet. So on the Appalachian Trail, at some point I started to feel that my feet were getting very stiff. And I bought this Spiky Ball to treat them, and I really happen to love this. So I wouldn't go without this for a long distance hike. Your feet are gonna take so much beating on the trail. So I don't want my feet to be done after the trail. I mentioned using a drinking bladder, and this is my bladder. This is a Source 3-liter bladder. And one thing that I like about this is that it has this middle wall, and this helps that the bladder won't be the shape of a ball, so it makes it more flat. And the other thing is that this has this special storm valve, which means that this is not a bite valve as most of the drinking bladders have, but this you can twist and then open, and you don't need to bite this. So it's easier to drink from this. And also if you need to fill like a cup of water or bottle of water from here, it's easier to do because you just twist and open the valve, and then you're able to pour out water from this. The final thing from my backpack is my sleeping bag. I have a separate video about this. So this is Warm Peace Viking 900. So this is a down sleeping bag, and I'm using a Sea to Summit compress and dry sack with this. I am very fond of these dry sacks. These are excellent dry sacks and excellent compressor sacks as well, because they have this event system. So when you are pushing the sleeping bag inside the dry sack, it has this one-way wall which pushes the air out of here. So it's quite often a problem that you have so much air inside a dry sack, and this event system helps with that kind of issue. So the comfort temperature of the sleeping bag is roughly -10 in Celsius, about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. I hope to be able to use this sleeping bag throughout the trail, but if it seems at some point that this is too hot, then I'm gonna just buy a lighter one. I hope I didn't forget anything. I hope it's all here. I'm gonna start my hike tomorrow, so I'm pretty much ready to go. That's the reason why I had all the food already in my backpack. And of course, then I'm gonna have a few liters of water because it's gonna be pretty dry and hot in the desert. But I'm very open regarding the changes in my gear. I've learned on the Appalachian Trail that when you have been hiking for a while, you're gonna find out that, okay, this works and this does not. And even though I know myself quite well, I know my needs, I know what I'm willing to carry, but PCT is different from the Appalachian Trail, and some things that were working very well on the Appalachian Trail might not be working as well on the PCT. So I'm very open to those moments when I start to feel like, okay, I need to replace this thing, I need to buy something else. So in that situation, I'm just gonna mail the old things back home, and then I'm gonna buy new things. That's how it's done. I hope you enjoyed going through my gear. I will make another gear video when I hopefully will successfully finish through hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. But this is what I'm going to be starting with, and it's very likely that I will be buying something new on the way, but this is my starting kit. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.